Well, good morning, Vietnam. Good morning, Marcet. And this is the pre-breakfast, the pre-coffee uh, talk. Well, we talked about that word, the phobia of truth, fearophobia, or uh, veritas phobia. That probably sounds better, no? Veritas phobia. But now we're going to talk about another fear, another word, which actually is not a word. We're going to talk about a very interesting. The presidents used to do this every year. The State of the Union. That's what they do. I'm gonna give you my State of the Union report. Right now, there's a coup d'état in the United States of America. The factions on one side is the government of Obama, which is ICE and the FBI, and actually ICE being part of Homeland Security, being a federal agency, as well as the FBI, is so interesting that the military government is in a struggle against them, and the military government is actually helping the local authorities, which is the sheriff and the police, oppose Obama's administration. So it's a coup d'état. Money sure goes by so fast, man. Wow, man. Really fast, man. Well, why am I saying that? There's a coup d'état, a de facto coup d'état. The de facto coup d'état is because that's the industrial military complex. That's a super corporate. Believe it or not, there are some factions, some people inside the forces, inside the FBI, inside ICE, inside all of these agencies that are Catholic, and Catholic, not Freemason, but the real ones, man. And they have decided they are not joining the forces of the Satanists, which is basically what we have the coup d'état, which is the industrial military complex, man. Corporate, man, fighting the people of the United States of America, man. A de facto coup d'état. Yet there are some loyalists of humanity, of freedom, man. The ones that advocate for equal rights to all, and they haven't sold to the betrayal of Judas, which is material earth, that which we see and feel on this earth, and which is Einstein would have called it the electron repellent world. Well, actually, he might not have called it that way. That's probably the way they call it, scientists, when referring to the material world as opposed to the anti-material world, theoretically. But then again, I'm not too much of a science, but I can see how science has made a huge leap, thanks to quantum mechanics, to understand the eternity of mankind, and perhaps not they cannot yet grasp there's an individual conscience and state of awareness in every single being in creation, and they, in their mind, they can only grasp a universal consciousness because their intellect doesn't give them that much to understand the death and the resurrection of the universe at an individual level. You know, the resurrection of each one of us, because those are matters of faith that are not understood by reason enough. You can deduct with the reason your faith, but through science you cannot really reach up to heaven, and some say you cannot even reach the moon, which is that would be pathetic, but very believable, yes. Because we're only humans. We're very good at making up things and creating things, but there's also a lot of lies, man, especially at the higher instances of government. They lie like sheep killing dogs, man. And that's why I have decided not to prostrate myself before the image of the statue of the king of Persia, as the prophet Daniel did in the Old Testament. Why should I prostrate myself before the state, as if the state were a religion, or before any nation, as if the jurisprudence, the jurisdiction of the state were to be higher than the jurisprudence of God. Now, nevertheless, that does not mean that we do not obey the laws of this earth. Of course we do, because most laws, rightfully so, emanate from, even though they wiped out the Ten Commandments, in order not to offend. Okay, and this is with ElPaxtas finishing the daily